Let's talk a little bit about the fact that the market's down almost 800 points this morning.
Yeah.
Concern for you?
Well, no, that's good for us, actually. We're a net buyer of stocks over time. And just like being a net buyer of food, I expect to buy food the rest of my life. I hope that food goes down in price tomorrow. So when stocks are down, we're going to be buying on balance. And who wouldn't rather buy it, at a lower price at a higher price? People are really strange on that. I mean, most people, most of your listeners are savers. And that means they'll be net buyers, and they should want the stock market to go down. They should want to buy at a lower price. But they have that feeling that they just feel better when stocks are going up. If you worry about corrections, you shouldn't own stocks. I mean, if you can't take your stock going down, it's going to go down sometime if you own a stock, so why worry about it? I mean, the point is to buy something that you like at a price you like, and then hold it for 20 years. And you should not look at it day to day. If you bought a farm or apartment house, you wouldn't get a quote on it every day or every week or every month. So it's a terrible mistake to think of stocks as something that bob up and down, and you should pay attention to those bobs up and down. Some people should not own stocks at all because they just get too upset with price fluctuations. If you're going to do dumb things because your stock goes down, you shouldn't own a stock at all. No, I mean,
what are dumb things? Selling a stock because it goes down?
Selling a stock because it goes down. I mean, if you buy your house at $20,000 and somebody comes along next day and says, I'll pay you $15,000, you don't sell it because the quote's $15,000. You look at the house or whatever it may be.
Do you think that we're headed to an economic recession?
I think that we're in an economic recession. I think if you look at all the signs of everything that's happening right now, in terms of, how everyone's pay is staying exactly the same, prices are spiking here in Europe because of the situation with Russia. The gas, it is six times more expensive to heat your home and to light your home in Germany than it was this time last year. If that is not a recession, I don't know what is. Now, it's all right for me. I've got money. Here in Romania, energy prices have spiked a little bit. Romania's got some of its own oil. If you're a German person on a set salary, 3,000-4,000 euros a month, and your gas price has gone up from 200 or 300 euros a month to 1,000, that's enough to bankrupt you. Like, energy prices have 6x'd, and these governments don't care about their own people. They're more happy to try to prove some point to Russia and not buy their gas. Because if anyone's listening from Germany or Western Europe, I don't know if you know what's going on exactly. Russia has not cut the gas off to Germany. Russia have not cut the gas off to any European country. What they've said is, I will sell you my gas, but because the USA are sanctioning us, please pay me in rubles. I'll sell you as much gas as you like. Germany is trying to be defiant, say, no, we're not going to cave into Russia. And the normal German man is paying 6 times more for his energy than he was last year. This is terrible. This is worse. And something bad is going on.
But in every recession, there's always someone capitalizing off of it. Same like in the pandemic, a lot of people got extremely rich while everybody else stayed inside and did nothing. What advice can you give? Where do you think people are going to start making money while everybody else gets brokered?
What I could say is, whatever it is you're doing, try to make yourself less dependent on the government. Wherever you are, wherever you live. I remember everyone cheering about stimulus checks when they were locked in their house. Oh, I got $1,400 for free. There is nothing there's nothing to be proud about when you're receiving handouts from the government, and that's what's keeping your head above the water. If you have a business with big government contracts, expand. If you make a lot of your money because the government is paying your company or yourself, expand. Because I'm telling you, trying to rely on the government to feed you with handouts is just going to make you more and more dependent. So try and become a bit more self-sufficient. Make more money. I don't care how you do it. Work 2 jobs. Make money online. Make sure some of the money that you're making online is coming from other countries. Whatever it is you're doing, try and diversify your sources of income. Because if you try to lean too much on the government, and there are governments in the world right now who are doing that. Here, I'll give you some money. Stay in your house. Here's another check. Don't worry. Here's enough to buy groceries. What if the government decides to stop giving you money? What are you going to eat? Nothing. So, stop your dependencies.
Because the last time we had like a big crash in the U.S., I made so much money. It was ridiculous. I was actually going over the P&Ls this morning with my son-in-law who runs our real estate. And we were just looking at that stuff going, we bought this stuff at 15 or 20 cents on the dollar. millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff for 15 or 20 cents on the dollar. So when I see how to prepare for a recession, I think be debt-free, be in a strong cash position, and then when there's a recession, it's time to make hay, because it's a great time to make money. It's a great time to make money when things are down. And it's when you buy. You buy everything. We buy low and sell high, right? I mean, this is the plan. And so, and that experience that we went through in the States anyway, in 2008, when the world was coming to an end and people were too big to fail and all of this stuff, and household names were closing down permanently in the banking world, and none of us really cried much about that, except people that worked there. And but other than that, we're all just like, well, too big to fail my butt. You failed. And so, but then some of them were too big to fail, and the government bailed them out, and all that stuff was going on, right? And there's this huge problem. Everybody's freaking out. I lost all my retirement. No, you really didn't. Because the Dow was at 14,000 and it went to 6,500. You lost half your retirement. If you cashed it out at the lowest possible point, which would make you the world's biggest loser in terms of picking times to cash stuff out. So if you cashed it out at the very bottom, the absolute valley, the apex of the valley, I mean the convex of the valley, the very bottom of the thing, you cashed out at 6,500. I didn't cash out at 6,500. You know what I did? I bought a lot. Oh, by the way, what's the Dow right now? 24,000. What's that? 4x. 4x. Put in $1 million at 6,500. Right now it's worth 4. You put in 10 million. Right now it's worth 40. That's what you do to prepare for a recession. You get ready, and when it dips like that, you're not sitting around wringing your hands going, I lost everything. You didn't lose everything. It's down half, and no one gets hurt on a roller coaster except those that jump off. That's when you buy. And I bought like crazy. I bought real estate more than I did even stocks. I didn't really change my stock investing. I just kept investing steadily. But boy, what if you'd have put in $10 million at the bottom? Right now, today, that $10 million would be worth 40. Or whatever zero or decimal you want to put on that game. It's a 4x, right? So you didn't lose all your money unless you jumped out at the exact wrong time. You didn't lose all your money. You didn't lose any money. Somebody asked Warren Buffett, he said, you lost $1 billion today. And he's like, no, I didn't. I didn't sell anything.
From where you sit and the data that you see, where do you think the economy is headed right now? Do you think we're in a recession?
The thing is that recessions are not necessarily a bad thing. I've now been through a few of them, and what tends to happen is if you have a boom that goes on for too long, you get misallocation of capital. It starts raining money on fools, basically. It's like any dumb thing gets money, and I'm sure you've seen a few of those. At some point, it gets just out of control, and you just have a misallocation of human capital. Eventually, the economic enema does its job. It clears out the pipes, if you will. Yes. and sort of the bullshit companies go bankrupt, and the ones that are doing useful products are prosperous. But there's certainly a lesson here that if one is making useful product and has a company that makes sense, make sure you're not running things too close to the edge from a capital standpoint, that you've got some capital reserves to last through irrational times. Because in the past, when there's been a recession, it has gone. It's amazing. It's flipped like a light switch. I mean, David, do you remember this from the PayPal, ex-PayPal days, when we raised $100 million in March of 2000? So it was like there was literally fire hosing money in March of 2000, and then in April 2000, the market went into free fall, and it went from raising money was trivial to even good companies could not raise money in a month. So it's just important to bear in mind, like that, PayPal almost went bankrupt in 2000. We came close, but thankfully we'd raised that $100 million in March 2000, without which we would be in game over, basically. Anyway, so it's just important to make sure if you're a healthy company, you got some capital to get through things, and then what's your costs, and if it is a recession, which more likely than not it is a recession. I'm not saying it is, but it probably is. then just watch your cash flow and get to positive cash flow as soon as you can. Yeah.